Week 5 of the fantasy football season. Here's a few running backs I have as sleepers this week. The first back, Kendre Miller of the New Orleans Saints. He was a pretty big waiver wire pickup, was Kendre Miller, but still out there in 78% of fantasy leagues. In the last 2 weeks now, he's starting to get more work in this backfield with New Orleans. With Alvin Kamara, we know he's up there in age. An aging running back is Alvin Kamara. A lot of wear and tear on his body and possibly a trade deadline candidate as well, where we know the Saint team's 0-4. In the last 2 weeks, like I said, Miller has been getting some work. Week 3 at Seattle, 7 carries, 27 yards, 2 catches, 9 yards. And then last week, he got 11 carries in that one at Buffalo for 65 yards and a touchdown. So that's big yards per carry it was for Kendre Miller in that ball game. He found the end zone, and this week a good matchup versus the New York Giants. I give up the 5th most fantasy points to running backs on the season. So like I said, after having a good game last week, I think we're going to see Miller get some more touches this week, anywhere from 9 to 12 touches, and definitely a sleeper option this week. The next running back, Justice Hill of the Baltimore Ravens. Hill was on the list last week, and he actually came out with a big ball game. It was for Justice Hill. I know it was a 71-yard rushing touchdown in garbage time, but points are points. In the last couple weeks, more of an expanded role he's seen, even though it's going according to game script, where they were trailing in both games was Baltimore, and they had to put in their receiving back in Hill. Week 3 versus Detroit, 3 catches, 45 yards, 4 targets. And then week 4, like I said, at Kansas City, 3 carries, 76 yards, a touchdown, 5 catches, 41 yards, and a touchdown on 6 targets. So this week, I think it's going to be a tight ball game with Houston and Baltimore. Obviously, this offense taking a major hit with MVP Lamar Jackson out 2 to 3 weeks now with the hamstring injury. But Justice Hill, he could be that running back. When in a pinch, they're going to put him out there and even line him up a receiver at times, where Cooper Rush has an accurate ball and he's good short pass quarterbacks. I think this week in deeper leagues, Justice Hill, once again, could be a decent sleeper option, and he's still available in 87% of fantasy leagues. And the final running back, Brashard Smith of the Kansas City Chiefs. He's been on this list a couple times this season, but his work is starting to tick up a little bit. He is Brashard Smith. I know Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt still in front of him on the depth chart was Brashard Smith, but easily the best running back room for this Kansas City Chiefs team. He was a running back in college, and he could play that Jared McKinnon role, I think, for Kansas City as the year goes on. So the last 2 weeks, more action he's been seeing. Week 3 at the Giants, 2 carries, 13 yards. And then week 4 versus Baltimore, 4 carries, 9 yards, 3 catches, 27 yards. So this week, Monday night, at the Jacksonville Jaguars, not a great defense. Brashard Smith out there in 96% of fantasy leagues. And even offensive coordinator Matt Nagy said we got to find ways to get him the football more, where he's an elusive and a speedster type of running back that can catch the football. So a few running backs I have as sleepers for week 5 of the fantasy football season.